Hello, I want to share some quick tips about the global test settings which can be used especially for the failure analysis. So here I have a super simple test case which is basically going to the Google page and just filling the test area that we have on the page. So let me just execute that. I'm going to my terminal and I'm just running the test case and it started. So here the browser starts and it was very quick but it just passed. And now I intentionally try to fail the test. So I just change the selector of the locator and I just again execute the test case. It starts again and the browser is there. Now the test didn't immediately close because it's still searching for the locator. There's an auto wait in Playwright since the locator is not there because there might be sometimes some timing issues, right? Sometimes the page is still loading. The element could be there after some time. So it is waiting. There's an auto wait. But I can see it is still waiting. It's been a while and it's still looking for the element. So the first thing I will show you is using some timeouts. So let me go to Playwright. I will stop this execution. And I will go to Playwright config file. Here I have some timeouts. For example, here the timeout is 300 seconds, which is basically 5 minutes. But this is a test timeout, right? This is the whole timeout, including all the steps. And there is another timeout, which is the expect. Let me actually open the Playwright timeouts page so we can see what kind of timeouts we have. The test timeout is the timeout for the whole test duration, and expect this for the assertions. But what I want to configure now is just the locator action timeout, right? Which is here for doing the action fill operation, fill transaction. So for that purpose, I can just go to the test use section and add my configuration here, which would be basically action timeout. I'm adding my setting, which would be like, let's set 5 seconds. Normally it is with milliseconds unit, so I multiply with 1k. And yeah, I guess I'm ready. Let's try it again. I'll execute my tests one more time. This time the browser starts. It is looking for the element. After 5 seconds, now it failed, right? And it automatically starts the reporter because I have reporter here in my config file, which is the HTML reporter. So if I check it, I can see where the test failed and why it failed. Very cool. The second tip I will show you is having the screenshot as well, because this is a UI test, this is a user interface test, and somehow the test failed while looking for an element, right? So I want to see on which state the UI itself was looking like. So for that purpose, now I will add another test use config here in the same section. This time it will be screenshot option. And I can set it to either on. I can already see the auto completion options here. I can set it to on, or off is basically just removing this option from the config file. So on or only on failure are the options. So I don't want to see them whenever the test passes, so I can set only on the failure. Cool. Let's try it one more time and one last time. I'm going to my terminal and executing the test case. It is starting the browser. It is going to Google page, looking for the element. It's not there, it failed, and it automatically starts the reporter. I can see now where it failed. I can see why it failed. And I can even see this screenshot. So this is 2 quick tips which will help us to make our failure analysis.